Hey, this is Ross with my partner Bob. We have a show called Worldview Matters.
And Ross, as you know, we believe that everything in life is somehow related to how people view the world around them.
Our show is available on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Also available on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday morning, the 12th of July. James Spann here. Hey, drier air settling in here today, so most locations will be dry. How long will that last? What about the tropics? Let's get in there and talk about weather. We'll check some of the Skycam shots as we look out the window early this morning at the somewhat ridiculous hour of 5 o'clock. Hey, a little foggy there in Inverness. That's our Skycam on top of the Wingate Inn. Got some other reports of patchy fog, but it's not particularly widespread. There's the Tuscaloosa Skycam, no fog problems there. And down south, there's our Gulf Shores Skycam. They had some pretty good range yesterday, but the weather really looks pretty good for the next 5 days. Sure, there's always a chance of scattered storms, but nothing out of the ordinary. And each day, we expect about 6 to 8 hours of sunshine for Gulf Shores all the way down to Panama City. Yeah, look at the drier air on that water vapor satellite view, those darker colors. Got a nice trough over the east, heat ridge off to the west, and you can pick out the cooler temperatures this morning. It feels good around the Great Lakes, a nice touch of fall here in mid-July. They're in the 50s up there. We're starting the day in the low 70s here. The high should be around 90, but the dew points are lower. The humidity should be lower today. Severe weather possibilities today, slight risk way up north. Tomorrow, we note the SPC guys have that 5% ring around Memphis. The better chance, of course, up on the Canadian border and on day 3, which is Sunday. Again, a slight risk way northwest of here. Note the lack of any storms around Omaha and Kansas City. That's the center of the upper high. You almost always pick those things out. This is the rain for the next 5 days. This carries us through Wednesday morning of next week, and really not a lot. Of course, the weather should be relatively dry today and tomorrow, and then Sunday and next week we get into the random air mass thunderstorm deal, and trying to identify who gets what, that's just impossible to do. Tropical weather, the remnants of Chantal just kind of hanging around over the Bahamas. NHC projecting a 30% chance of that getting its act together again. Pretty good convection with that thing this morning, but it's not clustered around the center. There's no central dense overcast. If it does get its act together, here's the modeling. Most models take it up toward the coast of South Carolina. We note some try and going to bend it back toward Alabama. Not so sure that's going to be the case. We think the main effect of this thing will be east of the state with just rain, but always something to watch. Here's the GFS, the Global Forecast System, the OZ run, valid at 1 o'clock Central Time this afternoon at 500 millibars. Big old upper high centered over Kansas. That's the center of the heat. Nice trough over the east. And down below that, the northern half of Alabama is in pretty dry air. Let's look at the high-res NAM. This is valid today at 5 o'clock. And yeah, could there be a little speck somewhere on radar? Yes. I'm not saying there's no chance of rain. If you like the numbers game, chance of any one spot getting wet today, about 5 to 10%. Just barely worth the mention. High should be around 90, but again, the humidity should be lower than recent days. All right, you weekend fans, let's look at tomorrow. This is 4 o'clock local time. And yes, I think we'll need to mention some risk of an afternoon storm, but still pretty widely spaced, but there'll be some out there as moisture levels start to rise. The NAM has high of 86. The GFS has high of 88. And for July 13th, that's just not that bad. Here's a look at Sunday. Pretty much the same deal. Chance of a few scattered showers and storms. The model's a little more aggressive in moisture return. In fact, the percentages of any one spot getting rain on Sunday, the GFS at 55%, the NAM at 63%. So maybe scattered to numerous showers and storms Sunday afternoon. Now, next week, big old high, nasty one is up there around Indiana and Ohio. And we'll see how that will influence us. We're on the southern periphery of that thing. Monday would seem to be a fairly typical summer day. Chance of an afternoon storm in spots. upper 80s. This is Tuesday. That looks drier as the heights are coming up. The high around 90, only a slight chance of a shower. Wednesday, that upper high just north of here. And down below that, again, there could be a few widely scattered storms. And with the upper high so close, that would typically suggest mid-90s. But because the soil moisture here is so deep, the high would probably be in the low 90s. There's Thursday and there's Friday. Very routine summer weather out there. Partly sunny, scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms. Highs added just over 90. We'll check the end of the forecast. This is July 27th. Chicago will be baking if this is right. Got a 597 ring up there. That's the center of the heat. We're on the southern flank of that. And again, very routine summer weather if that's right. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. Next video here, 4 o'clock or so this afternoon. If you can, catch us on ABC 3340 News this evening on the live stream or the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.